you want to send across any question or any theme specific fund that you want to include in your portfolio, you definitely have to send us your question. If at all you want our experts to help you out, so all you have to do is just WhatsApp us your queries on our WhatsApp number 8657974571. We also have an email ID, themoneyshow@etnow.tv. So any specific diversification or moving from your core portfolio to a satellite portfolio, insurance, tax, anything related to personal finance, we've got your back on the Money Show. But now it's time to get connected with our viewers and discuss their financial portfolio strategies and align it with their financial goals. I have with me Hemant Rustagi from Wiseinvest, who will be helping our viewers today. Hemant, good evening and welcome to the show. Let's take Shrikant Patil's question. And okay, so he's doing his investments, 15 years, target is almost 5 CR and current value is 8.40 is what he's given us. He's got ICICI Pru Infra, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, Nippon India Small Cap in his portfolio. Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, he's got DSP Nifty Next 50 and DSP Small Cap as well. Edelweiss Europe Dynamic Equity Offshore Fund and also US Tech Equity Fund of the same fund house. He's got a pharma healthcare from ICICI, global consumer from Invesco India. He's also got a Geo BlackRock Money Market Fund and Nippon Large Cap, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Quant ELSS, Quant Infra, SBI, PSU Direct, Bandhan Small Cap. Oh, quite a lot of funds. I was almost out of breath. Okay. So, and a lot of sector exposure as well. I really wished I had Mr. Patil on the phone line, because not only has he taken risk in his portfolio, but he is really over diversified. So, yeah, looking at the AMFI numbers also specifically, Hemant, we did see the interest in thematic and sector funds coming back. And I think it's definitely investors like these who have just taken up that number. Also, we also saw a lot of NFO launches that also added to the number. But having said that, yes, Mr. Patil really need to shut down his portfolio and trim it down. What would you recommend?
Oh, yes, absolutely, Kavita. I think there are 16 funds. There is clearly a need for him to, realign his portfolio, definitely consolidate it. Before I come to that, I think let's look at whatever money he's investing, whether he'll be able to achieve his targets. So he's investing around 60,000 in 16 funds. Okay, and he has so far accumulated a corpus of around 8,40,000. So if he continues this, and if I also consider his current portfolio, the growth of 12% in that, over the next, after 15 years, he should be able to accumulate a corpus of around 3.5 crore. Now, the target here is 5 crore. So clearly, there is a need for him to step up his investment. And if he can step up his SIP amount by 8% every year for the next 15 years, he should be able to achieve the target. So one, that is a roadmap for him if he wants to achieve his target. Coming to the composition of portfolio, look, there are 16 funds. There are sector fund, there are thematic fund, there are a number of NFOs you can see there. There is even a liquid fund where he's invested 1,000, which may not be actually suitable for him at all. So clearly, I think it's important for every investor to understand that mutual fund by nature themselves are a diversified investment vehicle. You don't have to have that many funds to diversify a portfolio. And as you rightly mentioned, Kavita, this is clearly a case of over diversification, which can actually harm your interest. So I think there is a need to consolidate. In my view, he can look at 6 funds in his portfolio for investment of 60,000. Now, there are good funds in the portfolio. Let me just identify those. One is Parag Parikh Flexi Cap. There is Bandhan Small Cap. There is Motilal Oswal Mid Cap. There are so these are 3 funds out of the existing portfolio that he can continue. Now, when I'm saying 6 funds, what I'm recommending is investing 10,000 in each of the funds. 3 additional funds that he can include in the portfolio and leave out everything else, according to me. One is Invesco Large and Mid Cap, Kotak Multi Cap, and ICICI Large and Mid Cap. So these are the 6 funds. Whether you look at it from the point of view of performance, consistency, investment strategy, and allocation to 3 different market segments, I think this is a portfolio which will help him achieve that.
All right. So invest in 6 funds. And Bandhan Small Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, he can continue. you're supposed to add funds like Invesco Large and Mid Cap, Kotak Multi Cap, and ICICI Pru Large and Mid Cap also. But then, what if someone is a fan of sector and thematic funds? What if someone has that FOMO? Like I'm sure Mr. Patil, the way he's invested in so many themes, there is an overlap because whatever you've mentioned are very well diversified, and these funds will also have exposure to these particular sector. Maybe not in not in the same way the way you get in a sector or thematic fund. But having said that, people really think that their returns or the portfolio performance get a boost if you have a niche product in the portfolio, if you have a sector or thematic, flavor to their portfolio. What will you tell them?
Kavita, I think what you're saying is absolutely right. When everyone is talking about the sector fund, thematic funds are doing so well, or the small cap funds are doing well, then everybody wants to invest. But I think important point for every investor to realize is that what is your overall allocation to these kind of funds? Now, what happens is when you look at individually, you may see that, okay, some of the funds in my portfolio are doing very well as compared to the other diversified category. And then that's where I think you may feel compelled to, increase your allocation to those funds. But the key factor is, as you rightly mentioned, that any fund manager who is doing well consistently would ensure that every single sector, okay, which has the potential to do well going forward, will have an allocation in your portfolio. The important thing is go back and look at the composition of the portfolio. You will find that most of these sectors are there already. So then the question is, do you still need to increase your allocation to them? So I think investors need to look at their overall portfolio return rather than looking at individual performance of funds, because that is where I think you're likely to go wrong. So it's important, as you rightly mentioned. I can understand that there is always a feeling of FOMO, but the fact is that if you're invested in good funds and your portfolio is doing well, you already have exposure to most of these sectors and themes.
Okay. Let's move on. Let's take Akshay's question. And Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, Bandhan Small Cap, DSP Multi Asset Allocation Fund. Target is 2 CR with 20 plus investment horizon, and he also wishes to increase the SIP amount to up to 25,000 per month.
Yes, Kavita, in this case, he's currently investing 10,000. So there are three pure equity fund. One is asset allocation fund, which is from DSP. Now he wants to increase his SIP to 25,000. So if he continues investing that 25,000 during his defined time horizon, he should be able to accumulate a corpus of around 2 crore 30 lakh. And I've considered, the annualized return to be 12%. The target is 2 crore. So if he continues his investment process uninterruptedly, there shouldn't be any problem in achieving the target. Good thing is that his equity funds are pretty good. So I feel that he can continue the same. He just need to reallocate the amount, because now that he wants to increase his SIP amount to 25,000. So Parag Parikh Flexi Cap can be 10,000, which is a Flexi Cap fund, as the name suggests. There is some allocation to the US markets. Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, he can allocate 8,000. And Bandhan Small Cap, he can allocate 7,000. So in all, 25,000. He's also asked about this asset allocation, whether it's a good option for medium term. Okay, so I'm assuming that because here the time horizon is much longer of 20 years. So if he is investing in one asset allocation fund for a medium term, I think that's a good choice to keep it in the portfolio.
All right, let's take Mukesh's question, and he wants to make 5 CR for his retirement in next 15 years. ICICI Pru Technology, HDFC Innovation, Kotak Pension Fund, Nippon India Retirement Fund, and he's got some PF contribution on 25 lakhs.
See, Kavita, here the total investment is 21,000. So he's investing around 8,500 in NPS. The rest of the investment is in equity fund. Here again, if you look at the portfolio, there is a sector fund, there is a thematic fund, there is also a retirement fund, a pension fund. So my belief is that if you're investing in good, well-diversified portfolios, there is no need for you to specifically have a retirement fund in the portfolio. So of course, he can continue with NPS. He's investing 8,500. For the remaining, I think he can look at Motilal Oswal Large and Mid Cap, where he can invest 5,500, Kotak Multi Cap, where he can invest 4,000, and Invesco Large and Mid Cap, where he can invest 3,000. So this is the allocation for 12,500, which is being done in the mutual fund, and the remaining 8,500 he can continue with NPS.
All right. We also have Satyam's question, and he says that he's 36 years old And investing in Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, HDFC Small Cap. And 15 years time horizon, and he wants to accumulate 1 CR.
Yeah, Kavita, in this case, the time horizon is 15 years. So here again, if we assume annualized return of 12%, the expected corpus will be around 72 lakhs. The target here is 1 crore. So obviously to achieve that, he will need to increase his SIP amount. So he needs to increase SIP amount by 5,000 rupees. So he should actually be investing 20,000 in all. The three funds in the portfolio, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, HDFC Small Cap, all three good funds. And that's how I think a portfolio composition should be. For the additional investment of 5,000, he can consider investing in a large and mid cap fund, which could be Invesco large and mid cap. So in all, there will be 4 funds, the 3 existing funds without changing any allocation. And for the additional 5,000, he can look at, like I said, 1 large and mid cap fund.
I think with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much, Hemant, for being on the show and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio queries. And for our viewers, I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID so that you can send across your questions and our experts.